hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the crew.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show. Let's talk from in the shell and share good vibes and good times. Friends and trends that bend the senses. Let's get a bit senseless. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we bring good vibes and good times. Welcome to the morning coffee show with Super Fast Tortoise. Welcome to the morning coffee show, where we have the flow. Good vibes from head to toe.
The morning with coffee in your cup, because we got Lone Wolf Hillbilly teach you do the mugenfool up. What's up?
What's up?
Good morning.
It's a good morning. Hope you got your coffee or your favorite libation today ready to go.
Yes, howdy doody.
Howdy doody. Yes, I'm Sean Connery. Oh my lord. Oh, kitty.
And we have a cat disturbance in the building.
Cat disturbance.
Oh, that scared the crap out of me.
Well, something did fall over here on my end, so that's what the noise was.
That's funny. Cat just jumped from like 5 feet away onto the freaking console here. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, but I had some fall over here on my end also. That might have gave it a little spook there.
Spooky. Everybody's spooking. You know, there's actually a subtype that's been going around. Not a subtype of video genre, vlogging genre called spooky hunting, spooky-ween, the Halloween in summer, like called Summerween, and it's been going crazy that people are setting up Halloween stuff in the summer, like Christmas in July.
Wow.
I'm just about to mention the same thing. The Christmas in July thing. Yeah, just about to mention that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like people like there's a Tampa J and his fiance Krista Girl. They have their own vlogging channels and they like doing spooky things. Well, Krista Girl is kind of funny because she likes witchy things, but doesn't like scary things really. But Tampa J is the opposite. He'll go through any horrifying house that he can go through during Halloween. He's called Tampa J because he's originally from Tampa and he went to Florida and lived in Florida, but now they live in Tennessee. So if you ever check out their channels, you know why Tampa J is Tampa J still and not Tennessee J. But yeah, that's interesting. A lot of things going on. Oh, yesterday was kind of a weird day on the show. We're talking about the prices of Magic products and how expensive collector boosters are. Holy cow,
Really?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, only Mugenfool can afford something like that.
I wish I could. I like $50 on Steam right now, but I'm saving it so in November I can just put $20 on it and then get my game I've been waiting for all this time.
Right. I believe you.
Yeah, man, it's definitely even outside of my price range, and you know, it's not like I'm posh or anything like that, but I have dropped $400 and $450 on a collector's box before because I do love Magic and I believe in the game. But man, double of that is what we're looking at on TCG Player right now for a collector booster box of Spider-Man. I'm seeing direct $840.
Right. And like we were pricing it out yesterday. I had a calculator in my hand, and I was like pricing the packs, and they definitely doubled the price of those collector boosters. I'm like, they're making it sound like the allocation prices were expensive. Jeez.
I don't think I've ever bought any collector boosters. Packs, yeah, but collector boosters, no.
Well, you've gotten one in one of your MTG precons before, I believe. It was like a sample pack.
Yeah, but an actual box of bag blanket, actual box though, I have not bought.
Mm. Yeah, and like I never bought a box of collector's packs, but I was gifted one year. It's when I pulled out the fancy foil etched jeweled lotus, which I sold. It was definitely worth the money selling it.
Yep.
Yeah. Considering the ban later, good call, bro.
Yep.
Well, I just believed it shouldn't have been printed flat out. And so I'm like, I'm not going to play with a card that I believe should not have been printed. So I sold it. And I didn't care if other people played it. I just didn't want to play it myself. And later on, right before they're banned it, I'm like, well, my Eldrazi deck could use one. I'm like, oh, but yeah, I mean, there's still some good cards out there. But hey,
yeah.
As long as you can flip cards, still flip cards, the game is healthy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, despite the negativity going around on the internet, in real life, people are still enjoying Magic. I actually just got a sale yesterday on TCG Player for a Secret Lair card, Blanca from Street Fighter.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so I had it actually priced, I'd say about 25% over the market of when I had listed it about 2 years ago. And that was it was like $4 and I put it at $6 and it finally sold 2 years later.
Wow.
The price has just naturally risen up.
Oh yeah. There's like, I was watching a video the other day and I can't remember who the video was by, but the context was with Secret Lairs and these Universes Beyond sets, the reserve list cards technically don't matter for collectability anymore. Not saying they don't count as their price value, but the new collectability in the newer sets and Secret Lairs and the Universes Beyond is keeping the value, not the cards high, so to say, but keeping the collector value high on people wanting to collect these cards. And that's what I think the hype is going for, is because people are like, ooh, this is collectible. Ooh, something shiny. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot of collectability because one thing Wizards said a long time ago, I remember they were talking about this. They wish they never had to do the reserve list card, and they wanted to make collecting more than the old school stuff because they made no money off the old school stuff.
Personally, I'm not invested enough in, and honestly knowledgeable enough in long-term investments and how Magic has played and will continue to play. Right. But what I do feel like I know is that those old Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Arabian Nights, The Dark, that era of Magic is never going to be revisited. A lot of those artists either won't do art, can't do art. There's all sorts of hoopla surrounding that, and I personally think that if you were to IRL come across some of those old cards, it might behoove you to acquire those.
Right? Yeah, no one's saying don't get the old cards. No one's saying don't get the old cards, but people are saying the new cards are just so fancy and shiny. Grab them. They want you to buy them. And that's why like prices are up on certain things. Like collector packs for like Spider-Man have special things that you can't get in the regular pack. They're like, ooh, this is gonna be collectible. People are gonna love this. It's an IP people want. And so I think that's why they're like kind of riding on the edge of the crazy train there with like Final Fantasy being so successful. I'm wondering if people are riding on that high that Spider-Man should be so successful. But whatever's going on, I was watching another video. I won't really get into because it's more hearsay about it. But like there's something about spoiling Avatar cards because something's up with Spider-Man that we might not get a second wave. And I'm like, I don't know how true that is, but They are pushing Avatar a lot earlier than we expected.
Well, my opinion about it is look at what they've spoiled, beginning to spoil everything towards the end of the year. I mean, it's push.
Mm.
I mean, before we got Edge of Eternities, they started spoiling Spider-Man.
Huh?
And that was even before Edge of Eternities was even out on paper.
Well, they spoiled a few things about Spider-Man before Edge of Eternities. Then they started spoiling cards on the pre-release day of Edge of Eternities.
Mm-hmm.
And that was weird.
Yep.
And then now they started spoiling more Spider-Man cards, and they stopped for a bit. Then now they're spoiling Avatar,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's at a bit of a breakneck speed. But, guys, you gotta realize that we are entrenched Magic players, right? Mm-hmm. We talk about it every day, play almost every day, maybe looking at card prices every other day, so this is a lot for us.
Yep.
But for the new players, for the folks that don't really pay attention much, or maybe they're still in college or working full time and got families and stuff, but every once in a while they'll see something on their Facebook feed, once a week about Magic. This it's kind of cool for them.
Right.
Right.
We see Magic all day long. I see Magic every day, and memes and cards and people saying, here's a card of a day kind of thing, like we do on the show, which we haven't done yet today. But there's a lot of new players and a lot of people who are not as invested in the game as much as we are, because we're even though we're content creators or invested in the game so much. Stupid cat.
Cat.
Invested in the game so much that we're seeing it and breathing it and living it, and that's one of the things that are true. Because even with films, and this is a little different, but even with films, I got tired of the spoilers of films. Like, how much knowledge do we know about Avengers Doomsday now? Probably too much. And holy cow, I don't know. It's like they can't even keep a secret character secret because they're telling you the actor that's in the movie is playing a certain role, and you're like, oh my lord.
So my girlfriend really loves movie trailers. It's so funny that she will specifically watch the trailer right before we're watching the movie too. It's like, honey, we're literally about to watch the movie. She's like, no, I have to watch the trailer too.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, bro, it's so funny, and people just like that kind of stuff. And I think it's just an effect of the day and age that we're in, right? Everybody is consuming content on their phone, on their computer, on their tablet,
Yeah. And another thing about a lot of content creators, a lot of us, I don't hold down a job, right? I'm home all the time. I'm scouring Facebook all the time when I'm between stuff. So I'm seeing this stuff on the basics where people who work 9 to 5s or just 8-hour jobs, sometimes 12-hour jobs like my wife, they don't get to look at their phone as much. So their engulfment in things like this is less than someone like us. So that's something that's something fair to think about. Also, with Lone Wolf writing the scripts for Hasbro, this man, holy cow.
That's wishful thinking.
That's wishful thinking. Oh boy.
So have you guys played any games outside of Magic this week?
Yep.
Of course. I play video games twice a week. I played Miles Morales on Monday, and I played Jurassic World Evolution on Wednesday.
Nice.
Yep. I play Path of Exile on Saturday afternoons.
And I don't stream it, but I've been playing a lot of Darkest Dungeon.
No.
Oh, okay. I've heard of Darkest Dungeon.
I'm playing right now with mods on it, but while we chat, so.
Sick. How you liking Path of Exile over there, Hillbilly? I've heard that game is very hard on computers. Like it works the computer really hard with graphics and stuff.
Well, I haven't been having fun with it.
Okay.
I mean, it is the older one. It is the first one, but I'm still having fun with it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. PoE 2 is out now, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it ain't free yet, so I'm hoping PoE 2 comes out free one of these days. So
Yeah, it will. They said there'll be 6 months since the early access, so they'll be like in December or something like that.
Mm.
Or something.
Okay.
They planned it for 6 months for at least for everyone to play.
Mm.
All right, hey,
So
Tibalt,
yeah, I think
what
Path
is-
of Exile is. Oh yeah, good morning, Tibalt.
Oh,
Yeah, no, Path of Exile is pretty cool because it's like a Diablo clone, you know,
mhm.
the ARPG kind of slash and loot. Personally, I haven't got into it because I feel so disloyal to Diablo. Plus, I think I'd like it.
You might like it, yeah.
It's interesting. I've been building. I mean, you can go look it up on the builds up, and to build your character up and find out how to build your character up. But I find it more fun to build your character up the way you want to build it up, whether it's right or wrong.
Yeah, that's one of the appeals to a game like that is the personalization.
Personalization, that's right. But anyways, thinking of cool things, cool stuff, we got to get to a segment of the day. Whoop, whoop. One of those.
Card of the day. Combo breaker.
Woo! Who remembers this beauty from back in the day?
Nice.
Yeah. Card of the
A
day.
winner, that's a winner.
Winner chicken dinner.
That's right. You remember this card back when it came out during Shards of Allura block. This card was house. And people played this card in the meta, and it was pretty solid. Now, today, it's like, okay. But I brought this card back for the nostalgia of it. And yes, last night I gained like 72 life and because of it. But I even still lost to a mill
Just a
deck.
measly 72.
Right, and 72 life. And but this card was awesome. It's still awesome today. It still holds a bell. I mean, do you guys have any memories of this card?
Yeah,
I don't-
actually, I ran it in my green-white cats.
I've not ran this card.
Ah,
Sadly, this was before my time in Magic.
ah.
Before
the
my time as well. I don't think I've ever seen this card.
This card has new artwork on it now, but this is one of the original artworks. Well, this is a special artwork for this card, I think. I could be wrong. But yeah, Behemoth Sledge was pretty powerful back in the day. I mean, 3 mana to play for to give a creature +2/+2 trample lifelink. It was better than Armadillo Cloak at the time, but Armadillo Cloak didn't have lifelink. It had subtext that was separate from lifelink. So if you played Armadillo Cloak and Behemoth Sledge on each other, you got 2 instances of life gain off this. Yeah. And if you don't know if you don't know Armadillo Cloak, it's an enchantment version of this. That's an aura version of this. And yeah, the reason why this card was good is because if your creature was killed, this stayed on the battlefield, and people love the replayability of this. Help you get in the game. Woo woo.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get to that sweet, sweet picture of the day. Picture of the day.
Yeah.
It's a picture of mugenfool on a Monday. He has that mohawk. He doesn't show everybody his mohawk, but it's there. But even a rock star needs a good coffee break. Huh? Hope you guys enjoy that little.
Yep, I don't think there was a single album made without at least 1 cup of coffee.
That's right. Even it'd be ironic is if the song Folgers Coffee by Rockapella was made without drinking coffee. Irony. That was a good song.
Yep.
I actually have that on my MP3 player as a song.
Wow.
That's dedication, Holmes.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Like honestly, I wish I could play it without being copyrighted. You know, and another song I wish I could play is it by the Cranberries or something that says I'm a creep, I'm a sinner.
That's Radiohead.
Radio, thank you. I can't remember exactly who it was by, but I remember, you know, I used to listen to that song a lot. I don't even know if I have the song anymore, which would be sad if I don't. I haven't heard it in months. But yeah.
Well, we know what Tortoise is YouTubing right after the show.
Yep.
Right. YouTube and I'm a creep. Oh, no, it's Creep by Radiohead. Yes. Because wasn't Radiohead Soundgarden before they changed their name?
No, I think those are different people.
All right. So I remember
Soundgarden turned into Audio Slave. Later.
There you go. That's what it was. The Audio Slave. There you go. So I remember having the Audio Slave album. I'm like, this is not as good. Like, it was an alright album. People liked Audio Slave, but, you know, Black Hole Sun just stole the show for years.
I mean, you know, music is music and it's very subjective, right? So I wouldn't tell anyone that that's one's better over the other. But I can, as a person from the Northwest, I heard a lot of Soundgarden and Audio Slave on the radio all the time. It's just it's ingrained in the culture there almost, right?
Right.
Like just as much as Sasquatch and the old 420. All right. But
Right.
yeah, but personally I think that Audio Slave is like the evolved version, right, of Soundgarden. And Soundgarden was grunge. It was a whole different sound, right? And then you fast forward 7 8 years and then the Linkin Park era, right? And so Audio Slave was contending and making music literally when Linkin Park was hot. So it was kind of around that sound. You know what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a magic historian or music historian. I'd love to be, but I love music. So.
The 2000s were banger for different types of music. I mean, you had blue, you know, I'm a blue, ba-ba-dee, da-ba-die.
That song. I like that song. Actually.
Then you had Bloodhound Gang with their Mammal song, which I can't remember.
Bad
what it's
Touch.
called. Bad Touch, yeah, the Bad Touch. You know, you had songs like that. Then you had Blink 182 coming out. That was rocking it. Sum 41, that was going crazy. You know, like it seemed like bands were making hit after hit or a good album or.
Well, they all had their start in the 90s and stuff.
Yeah, and that's a generational opinion there. You know, that's one, but also at the same time, it was big back then. But that's generational because, you know, look at Coogee Dude, who loves his classic rock nowadays. That is considered like rock. Like he loves his Ozzy Osbourne. That's still timeless for some people. You know, he loves his people from that general genre and generation of the 80s and 70s. You know, to me, it was the 2000s, and I remember walking down streets and people blasting up the music. And the one song I got to hear the most for a while was, well, there's two songs I heard the most for a while, which was annoying. One was Blue, walk down the street and someone out blasting out the windows of the house. Or, hey now, I'm an all-star, get your game on.
Oh, Lord.
You know, heard that forever too. But then Nickelback became popular. Then people started playing, I couldn't make it as a blind man. I couldn't make it as a poor man stealing.
Yeah.
You know,
oh boy.
You know, people were blasting music like when I was walking around because I always walked around. I don't drive. I have a driver's permit, but I do not drive. And so every time I walked around, I heard people blasting the music from their houses. They probably cleaning or something, but they were jamming out to all the music of our era. And my generation had some good music. Now, I'm not saying there's not good music today.
Nope.
It's just you don't really hear a lot of good music on the radio today. That seems good. Opinionated there.
Yeah, I think we touched on this topic slightly some months ago here on this show, actually, about how the internet and accessibility to music via all these streaming platforms and whatnot has divided the listener base. So, decades prior, people listen to music on the radio or the records. Like it was like one of two options, right? Kind of thing. And so it wasn't so divided. And yeah, I think that's why there was that feeling of togetherness. Like you'd go hang out with the homies after school, and everybody would know the words to the song on the radio when you're all playing Magic or video games or whatever, right?
Right.
Yep.
Because it was kind of like a magical feeling when you listen to an album and you heard the secret track, and you got
that too. Oh my God, that's a lost thing. These kids don't even know these days,
right? Right? Because you remember one song that got big that was a secret track. Was it Godsmack or something like that? That did Voodoo. I'm not the one who's so far away.
Was that originally a secret track?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I know that there's some stuff like Korn's Follow the Leader album. The first 13 songs are actually silent tracks.
Right.
And and I don't know if it's so much a secret song, but like at the very end of the Green Day album, I think Dookie, the All By Myself, that song is so stupid but fun, right? And it's just, huh? What's that movie?
One of my favorite secret tracks is crap, what's that song called again? Oh yeah, Average Man by Real Big Fish.
Mm-hmm.
It's so secret that the album that has it doesn't even have it on Spotify. That's that song.
All right.
How powerful and secret that song is.
Real Big Fish was a good band too back in the day. I mean, we had the flavorful hits in our generation.
Yeah.
And look, there's probably good music coming out today. You just don't get to hear it on the radio. And well, at least where I live, they like the best radio station plays classic mixed with new music. And sometimes the new music are just not bangers, and sometimes and look, and I'm not just saying we're not getting good bands out there. Some of the bands that we used to listen to changed their flavor, and they're not sounding as good as they used to. They're not
right.
Nowadays, nowadays you got people saying, "What's a radio?"
What's a radio?
What's radio? Oh yo.
Well, you got. What was that? What's that vehicle? What's that app that people have in their cars for radio? People listen to that a lot.
The Sirius
XM. Yes, there you go. Yeah, people listen to that a lot. You got Pandora, which is like radio. And look, the one thing that we're lacking on these apps is a full-on radio station. Like the one thing I like doing or listening to when I'm listening to radio is not just the music. And yes, you get commercials in it, but they keep it in theme, and you have people who have like a talk show throughout the whole show, so they keep you entertained.
My man, you know what that is now? Like, it's not what you knew it as before, but it is now podcasting, and doing literally what we're doing right now is a variation of that.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if I could play songs like that, like legitimate songs, and like do a radio show in the morning. Like I used to, like, here's the song of the day. Let's listen to it and talk about it.
Well, I mean, technically you can. Like, dude, the homie DJ Longhair, he does like live music on Suno for hours on end. And listen, I'm not over here judging his content, but I will say from a content, judging perspective, like if I was to rate it or to describe it, it's like a 3 or 4 hour hangout session while he's just spinning live music, and you're all BSing. It's like It's like a party almost, like hanging out, and that's the kind of environment that he cultures there with his streams. But you are trying to entertain and educate more on like the magic news and the magic market and toy market and stuff like that. So it's just a different environment. And, you know, if you want to do that and explore that option, just make a second channel.
Right, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But yeah, when I'm talking about songs, I'm not talking about pseudo songs. I'm talking about legitimate songs. And you know what? You know what?
Huh.
One thing I found out once they're fully monetized, ironically, there are some songs you can play. If you turn off monetization for that video, you can get away with, like some Linkin Park songs.
No.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. Like, because like YouTube has two things with like newer music, like with music, you can play real music. You can either do ad sharing where both of you split the viewing
Revenue.
The viewing cost or earnings, split the earnings, or you just don't monetize your channel and they'll let you use it. Well, not the channel, but the video that it's on. So there's ways to do it. So that could be fun. And no, like I love hanging out, you know, with people too in the morning, and I don't have the time to be like, let's hang out for 4 hours in the morning.
Right. You know, not everybody can offer that experience, bro. You know, and that's okay. You know, you're riding a different horse. That's all good.
Oh, yeah, we get some great people on the show. You know, we get great personalities. We get fun times going on. You know, it's good because like our conversation is different. We're people from all across the country.
Yep,
you know?
For sure.
Like no one here in this show is from the same state.
Right.
Nope.
You know, that's crazy. I mean,
not to cut you off, but it is in regards to your show, your morning show here. It's not every morning that I'm on, right? But I usually do tune in and lurk, you know, because I'll be starting my day like the 8 o'clock. So 8 a.m. is when my time is when your show starts. So it's also when my lady clocks into work. So I'm just straight up on dad duty at 8. So both of those things happen at the same time. So I usually am making a bottle and making breakfast and doing the other stuff while y'all are just chilling on my computer and I'm listening to you talk.
That's
and
cool.
it's super chill, right? It's not loud and intense and like, you know, you're just bantering, you know, it's kind of nice. And it's only an hour long. So like after 9 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick a different show now. I usually go over to like Kind of Funny Games or Side Scrollers, which are two totally polar opposites. But I'm like that, bro. So yeah, that's just it's a good part of my routine. I like it. You know?
Yeah, I appreciate that for sure, 100%. But you know, one thing I've been doing lately is actually been watching different podcasts. 'Cause I watch different podcasts and stuff. Like I don't know if you ever heard of Toy Federation. But it's a business that has a vlogging channel and a podcast channel. Well, they do lots of toy things. They own a toy store, and the owner started a vlogging channel where he vlogs when people come in and sell them toys. But they also have a sit around where the employees of the channel just talk about old toys, old times, and stuff. Yeah, and not just them. I'll watch other people just get an idea of what the market's like or what interests are like, because there's a lot of connectivity. And I don't know, I know just several people who don't think Magic the Gathering and toys go together, but a lot of toy collectors I've noticed collect Magic, and a lot of Magic collectors will collect some toys, you know. And so
there's overlap.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap there, and they function a lot the same since Hasbro is one of those companies. Mattel's another company. Valaverse is another company. NECA is another company. So many different companies that fight to stay in the collector industry. and a lot of crossover with IPs, and all these companies are looking at each other saying what sells. You know how many Ninja Turtles crossovers I've seen in toys alone?
Much less video games, because I've seen a lot of video games them crossing over too.
Right? McDonald's just got that Hello Kitty Ninja Turtles crossover thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy. And the reason why I bring this up, because I realized I didn't get to a point when I was mentioning all that. The reason why I bring this up is because, like, when all these things I watch, they really give you a more of a broader picture of what's happening in the world today. And even though, like, when we focus on, like, let's say the price of collector booster boxes, you can't really see what's going on there if you just look at that as one thing. But if you're like, oh well, there's more going on, you know, there's more people interested in this kind of product, and they're fishing out how much they can get out of this product, you know, because like as a reseller or a previous reseller, some items that were hot ticket items, I'd purposely push up to a higher price, and I wouldn't push it to a higher price to see if someone would snag it. But sometimes it happened that way. But I push a product to a certain price so they can talk me down to a more comfortable price I'm actually willing to sell the toy for, or the item. You know, and that's what I did. And I think that's kind of what they do with these Magic products. You know, we kind of circled that around this whole topic, ironically.
Yeah. You know, as a person who's a reseller, right? That's what I am. That's what I do. I will... Yeah, I'm not going to deny it or be ashamed about it, right?
Right.
I do it with Magic and video games. I have not done it with toys, so I don't even know, like, what that kind of haggle looks like, you know, and how much kind of wiggle room and pressure there is in that situation because of conditioning, or, you know, did you source it from a reliable place, or is it fake, you know? Like, what's your toy selling experience like with when you're offloading toys to somebody, say on Facebook Marketplace or at the LGS or something?
All right, my honest opinion, you got to know what you're doing. All right, so this toy right here, this orange blue toy here, I got this out of a box, like a box that was sold for a deal, $50 for this toy. This toy is like a couple $100, right? But it came with a handful of Beast Wars Transformers that I wanted, like one of these ones that are hidden and no longer functions because of gold plastic syndrome, which is something you got to know about, and all these toys, there were some random toys, and there were 2 complete Power Rangers Megazords. Well, at the time, I didn't realize the value these things had. I knew they were worth some money, but I didn't really care. But I figured I spent $50 on this box. I could flip the Zords for $50. Well, dude, almost. This is kind of going crazy with the thought, like going over, exaggerating, but it almost feels like before I even hit the send button on Facebook Marketplace, it sold.
Wow.
Right. And that's how quick it sold. I hit send and someone reached out to me. Is this available? And he's like, I can be there tomorrow morning. I'm like, sweet, let's do it. The guy was a complete jerk.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right. He paid me the money. But he basically handed me the money, snatched the toys, and ran away like, let's get out of here before he knows what he lost.
Wow.
I knew they were worth at least $100 a piece. I just didn't know the full value of them. I didn't know if they were actually complete. I didn't do the homework. I mean, I knew they made the complete Zords. I just didn't know what was all there. Like, I know there's missing pieces on a couple things. So, whatever. But like with toys, when you know how people talk about proxies in the magic universe, like proxies are a good thing. In the toy industry, you never know when they're gonna remake a toy like Beast Wars. Like before Beast Wars got a remake, and they could have done better with the Beast Wars remake. I would go to yard sales, and one time at an estate sale, I found a lot of broken Beast Wars Transformers. And broken for Transformers mean they were just missing limbs on ball joints and stuff, and nothing too important. other than they weren't completely functional. But there are people out there in the toy industry who will buy toy parts like that to complete a figure they already own and do that. So,
oh yeah, for sure. There's a lot of folks that do the same thing in the video game space.
right. And there are people who just do it to complete something, you know, like there are people who resell to complete an item, complete a collection, you know, like a full thing. Like I'm still trying to collect more Beast Wars figures to complete the team from the series, even though they're not up here. I got most of them in the drawer, but you know, I got a couple ones that are not even from the Canadian show. I say Canadian because it was produced in Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and the trick, one of the tricks I learned with toy selling, and holy crap, there's a link here. One of the tricks with toy selling, there, you gotta find the items that people want. And you never know what people want because you know there's multiple generations, so your variety is kind of huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because like you got multiple generations, but the one thing you want to look for is like the big IPs, Transformers, GI Joe, He-Man, Ben 10, you know, all these things that people were going crazy for when they were kids because nostalgia bites hard. Well, that's really cool. Sorry, I said that's really cool because I'm looking at this little video clip playing TCG dude sent to me in the background. It's like they're coming out with a Turtles game. That's Rachel. Sorry, but yeah. So and with selling like different things, it didn't it didn't matter if it broke. I sold a broken Ghostbusters vehicle with toys, right? But just like Magic, the Gathering, the flame of those cells turn down when these toys get reprinted, basically. So that is one of the biggest truths I had to get through. Like I had some of these old toys that are kind of janky. Well, they're janky because they're old. You know, they're vintage. They don't transform very well, or they didn't do something very well. You know, because of age. People wanted them because of age. But then when Hasbro did the Beast Wars line, there are certain figures that just dropped down in value because people wanted the new stuff. Because there's a guy named Ed in the UK who's a YouTuber who bought like $1,000 Grayskull figure with like a mechanical arm, still in package.
Wow.
And the mechanical arm thing broke in package, decreasing the value of the picture. So when they come out with new stuff, people are willing to get the newer stuff to fill out their stuff now. So when it comes to completionists, that is the craziest thing. So you gotta,
that's why I'm saying it's a whole different space, bro. Like, you know, I was just thinking, like, with Magic, it's like Strixhaven is Strixhaven. There is no second print or second version of Strixhaven unless it's an actual new set, which is not Strixhaven, right? That's just so confusing with retail and toys, you know? You got your He-Man from the 80s, your He-Man from the 90s, your He-Man from the 2000s, you know? Which one's going to hold value?
Well, yeah, that's one of the biggest tough things. The biggest tough things to deal with,
Right?
Like Wizards of the Coast for the longest time said they didn't look at the secondary market, which, you know, through ways they do things is kind of BS. Hasbro definitely looks at the second market. I don't know if they'll tell you or not, but they definitely do because they're not making off their old toys selling. They're willing to remake or rebrand older toy lines.
Yep.
You know, and look, I won't lie, some of the newer toys are better than what they used to be, or they have better joints than they used to, or better posability, or something cool they can do. Like this next year in 2026, they're coming out with more Beast Wars figures that I want to get a couple of.
Wow.
That are just hard to get. One's like a Japanese exclusive. Like, it's going to be in America, but originally it's Japanese exclusive. You know, so
Yeah, see, and that's a topic for another show, is how imports from, say, Japan to America used to be so sought after and exclusive, say, in the 90s, but now it's just one click away on eBay.
Hmm.
You know?
Oh yeah, and you never know what you're gonna get. There are some toys that are worth a lot of money because the TV stations gave it out as a giveaway.
Yep.
Oh, right. Yeah, the you don't buy this, it's handed out kind of thing.
Yeah, well, like with Beast Wars, you can tell I'm a big Beast Wars head. Going back to it, but
Yes.
they did a cup. They did like Fox in several different states. You know, Fox Kids. They gave away custom painted or alternate painted Beast Wars figures away to people who got in the giveaway, and those things are worth money because they were harder because there's less of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And I probably would have had one if my parents would let me put a stupid little stamp on a letter and put it in the mail.
Never know.
You never know, but still. Anyways, just like magic, with the toy industry, if you want to resell toys specifically, you got to keep your ear on the ground and follow all the trends. And
Yep.
you never know what the trend is, because most likely what happens, and here's how a lot of people like me learned during the COVID-19 era, was they watched people on YouTube be successful at it, and by the time you got into it, you were almost too late. So you gotta jump on things that are different. You look for unique things. You look for older things. You look for things that, you know, when you were a kid. I mean, if anything, if you can find toys of when you were a kid, that's a hot item, especially if you're in your 30s and 40s right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because 30 and 40-year-olds have the money to buy their kids' dreams back.
Yep.
And, or fulfill them. You know how many people I found online that once they became adults and got their adult money, they just focused on completing a toy line they wanted as a kid. Tibalts says, you have to be ahead of the curve. That's true.
Right. Man, speaking of ahead of the curve, man, I totally dropped the ball on this one. You know that I technically started streaming on Twitch back in 2016.
Right?
Yeah. Like, I did Diablo 3 and some Counter-Strike, Yeah, I like first-person shooters and stuff. I actually got the Battlefield 6 open beta installed on the PC here since the old PS5 was giving me issues. But, the whole regretty spaghetti, woulda, coulda, shoulda, man. If I had just literally put my nose to the grindstone and dedicated to my craft of playing games on Twitch, I could have been on the ground floor, so to speak.
Right.
But here we are, almost 10 years later, and I've got like 30 followers on there, and that's okay because it wasn't a priority for me, right?
I have
Huh?
I have like 200 followers on Twitch, but only 30 something on YouTube. I really need to get back to YouTube.
For sure.
Streaming.
Oh yeah. One thing I want to add though, for if you want to be a magic collector, seller, or flipper, and if you want to be a toy seller, flipper, or something like that, like a reseller in general, if you want to get there, it's important to have a license, the driver's license, to be able to get around to the places you want to go, because not everybody's going to bring their stuff to you, which was kind of my demise because I couldn't go to all the places that were selling the stuff.
Bro, yeah, the ability to acquire things via driving versus walking makes a huge difference. And it's not even just like the weight of the items and carrying them, because you can always just bring a duffel bag onto the bus, but it's the actual time that it takes to walk there to get there, or maybe it's on the other side of the state, which is an hour and a half, 2-hour drive for some folks, but would be, a 4-hour, 5-hour bus commute for you.
Oh yeah. It's very true. Like transportation, because the bus ain't going to take you directly to someone's house or stop directly in the place that you want to go to pick it up.
Yeah.
And a bus ain't going to wait for you to do a transaction and come back.
Yep, and there's also no guarantee that they are actually going to meet up with you. Oddly enough, the other day, in reselling fashion, me and the missus were at the pawn shop just perusing because we like to pick up dollar DVDs.
Right.
And, yeah. So they had a Subway duffel bag there.
Nice.
Like, yeah, legit merch,
Wow.
Subway merch. Yeah, and it's, you know, the only way that you can get Subway merch is through their exclusive store through the app. And you have to order food from Subway to accrue points on your app to then be able to get those items, right? So there's a lot of steps. Well, anyways, the bag was only $15. And,
Nice.
bro, I told her, hey, I really kind of want this. I'm timmying really hard right now. Look, it even has a pouch that's a foot long to hold my sandwich. And she's like, no, honey, you don't need that. And I'm like, oh, you're right, fine. Fast forward a week later, we're perusing for DVDs again, and the bag is still there. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying no this time. I'm getting that bag for $15. I listed it on Facebook a month later for $40 because Happy Gilmore 2 was out and the hype for Subway was there, right?
Right.
So, yeah. Well, a couple people were interested, and I did end up following through with one fella. Bro, I kid you not. I took my time, got in the car, drove across town, and waited at the LGS searching through singles until it hit 2 o'clock when I was supposed to meet with the guy. The guy texted me 15 minutes before that saying, oh, hey, man, I changed my mind. Maybe I'll get it in a couple days. And I'm like, no, sir. I drove over here, spent time and gas. You're going to get it today or not at all.
Really?
It's true.
Real.
Well, there's one time
Yeah.
someone gave me a sob story. Someone gave me a sob story about how they had to wait 2 weeks to buy this item, and I'm like, okay, I'll put this item on hold for 2 weeks, and they never showed up. They never showed up, came back, and after that, I learned if it doesn't sell, if it ain't sold that day or the next day, basically, because usually someone says, come the next day or whatever. Don't put it up for holds, and a lot of people try doing a lot of holds more than anything else.
For sure. Can't count your chickens before they hatch.
That's right, and you know, you can't make money off dreaming and wishes. Cash in hand, little man. That's right.
Heck yeah.
But anyways, my friends, it is about that time we get.
Hit that subscribe button. Become a part of the creep.
Too much to take. Show is lit. MTG3, are you game? Rise, creep, rise, building a following as we game. Spitting fire like a dragon, no one can bring us down. MTG3 in the house, we own this town. Ripping through the beats with a fury.
Woo-wee! Look at us. Look at the time. Where did that go? It went here, went there, went everywhere. We talked about everything possible, I guess. But anyways, it was a fun time doing it. And then it's time to go to the shill section, the thrill section. Oh yeah, and we're gonna start with the lone wolf.
All right, howdy everybody. I'll just try to make this quick and like, subscribe, follow everybody here, whether they're on Twitch, whether they're on YouTube, and let's get to that next goal of 1,500 for Hillbilly and Tortoise.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. And with that, are you here? Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, it's your turn.
Hey, everybody. I'm just trying to. I'm not gonna be streaming for a little bit, but the rest of the crew knows why. So until I feel better, I'll catch you on the flip side.
Get on the flip side. All right, and with that, we got TCG dude popping up with this.
Heck yeah. Hey, mugenfool, I hope you feel better, bro. And maybe we'll see you in the chats, you know, when we're all live or something.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll be back Wednesday, but you know, it's just gonna be a while.
Okay, bud. Okay.
That's understandable.
Yeah, for real, man. You gotta take care of yourself, man. It's like I tell my old lady in the airplane. They tell you to oxygen mask yourself first. Yeah. Anyways, all right, y'all. Well, hello. I'm Alex, the TCG dude, out here keeping magic alive. If you like Magic the Gathering and video games, you can catch me on YouTube talking about it, opening up product. Today specifically is Friday, so it's Friday Fantasy, and I will be streaming on the Twitch side at TCGDude907, playing Final Fantasy X. We are doing a challenge mode for that too, where Kamari is the tank and no overdrives, right? So my characters are pretty much weak. Fun. Yeah. But yeah, otherwise, I'm totally trying to get my grind on for standard with a post-rotation. And if anybody wants to 1v1 me or talk arena, you can always hit me up on X or Discord at TCGDude. And if social medias aren't your thing, you can always email me, contact.tcgdude@gmail.com. I will quickly put out there that this weekend has had a couple of things come up. One with the Festival in a Box, which was my original goal, but it has now shifted to Card Mill. Yesterday over on the round table, we were talking with the founder and creator, Jonathan, of Card Mill, and he has a Kickstarter project. It should be 400, I think, is the goal to get a card mill, and I am trying to do a couple of rip and ships. I've got a Tarkir Dragonstorm play booster box and an Edge of Eternity play booster box that we can dig into, so we'll flesh out more details and prices for that in Turtles Discord. And yeah, hopefully we can get something going, because I would love to support an entrepreneur and an American trying to live his dream and help others sort their cards.
40 cards. Boop, boop.
Hell yeah. Thanks, Tortoise.
Yep. And with that, we're going to roll over to Hillbilly. Wait, they did not blow you up? There you go.
Hey, everybody. This afternoon, I'm going to do another arena stream. Then tomorrow morning, I will be doing another arena stream. But tomorrow afternoon, I'll be playing Path of Exile tomorrow afternoon. That's all the news. That's all the thing I'm doing for today and tomorrow. And on Sunday morning will not be a stream. The stream on Sunday afternoon. That's all that I got planned for the weekend.
Whoop, whoop. Sounds good. Hey, everybody, it's Super Fast Tortoise, and yes, I'm crazy. I'm going nuts. And tonight, we're going to play some Bracket 3 Commander. If you're part of the Discord, you can possibly have a chance. If you first come, first serve, get your spot when I post the advertisement that we're going to go tonight at 7 Central Standard Time. We're going to play some Commander Bracket 3. Let's go. And with that, it's the weekend. I take a break on the weekend. So with all that going on, I want to thank everybody for being on the show today, from Hillbilly, Lone Wolf, TCG Dude, and Mugenfool. Everybody in chat, you rock, you roll. Thank you for chilling out with us. Be awesome, be amazing. I want to remind you that you're awesome and you're cool. I want to thank my channel members with a little clip because I forgot to play it earlier, but here we go. I want to thank you, channel members of the channel, for supporting this creep the way you do. You are awesome. And you subscribers, everybody that subscribes, you're doing amazing too. Thank you very much for all that you do. Yeah, everybody, thank you for being channel members. Remember, you're loved. Someone's thinking about you. And if you can, say and or do something positive for someone else today, because you might be the change they need. With that, we're going to the end scene.
Start the morning with coffee in your cup. Time to hang out with friends and chat it up. Bring a smile and good luck. Hit that like button and let's chat it up. Good times start with us, you and me. Good morning, welcome to the morning coffee show.